Hi, I'm Chris Maragkakis of Simply Be Retreats and Therapies. I'm a life coach, therapist and podcaster. Welcome to Mindful Mutterings. Please like, share and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening. Hi, thanks for joining me. I want to talk about the importance of really listening this week and how it can improve our relationships and the way that we communicate and ultimately the outcomes that we have in life. And I'm sure if we were asked, we would all say that we were really good listeners, but I would beg to differ and say that's not really true. I mean, most of us will put our hand up to only half listening a lot of the time while our brain is working on something else, or we're on the computer scrolling through our phone or watching TV. And most of us regularly do one of the following. I think you'll agree that most of us listen to answer. I mean, we think we know what that person is going to say, or we are half listening, but we're so busy formulating our own answer that we're missing a lot of what's being said. And then quite a few of us listen to criticise. We're looking to find fault with what the other person is saying because subconsciously we might want to undermine them or control them and keep them back from from reaching ahead of us. And that's a subconscious action that we've learned to do to get energy and to feel powerful in life. And then also we listen to defend because we've been conditioned to hear comments such as, some people this, or I don't understand why someone can do that, as negative comments being aimed at ourselves, and we become defensive. And when we're wrapped up in defending our beliefs and our lifestyle, sometimes to the point where we become unreasonable, then obviously we've lost the art of communication because we're entrenched in defending what we see as our position or an attack on ourselves. And these listening styles mean that we never truly receive the whole message. And this can cause misunderstandings or, cause us to overreact or judge others harshly, which obviously can then put strain on working and personal relationships and just on the general harmony of our life and how we're living. Now, obviously we can survive perfectly well continuing to listen like this, but we are missing a huge part of what's being communicated to us. We're not paying attention to body language and visual clues. We're maybe not also tuned into what's not being said, and this can be an absolute vital piece of information that we're missing, which causes deep misunderstandings and conflict. But maybe more importantly, by not listening for the gaps and not picking up on what's missing from the conversation, we can miss the things that make the other person feel valued. And so this person ends up feeling that maybe they're not taken seriously, or that what they have to say is not valued. And obviously this then causes, issues with self-esteem and feeling resentful, and can cause no end of problems as we go forward. So it turns out, after a quick Google, that there are over 20 styles of listening, but I think really we'll just focus on the three main styles. Excuse me. And I think that improving these three styles can have a massive impact on our life. And these are, firstly, active listening. When we're listening actively, we're giving the person we're engaging with our full attention. And when we give them our attention, they don't have to fight for our time and our energy. And this helps them to relax into what they're saying. They become more eloquent because they feel under less pressure to rush through what they want to say. We're paying attention to them, so we're aware of their body language, their eye contact. We're picking up on the nuances that give us a deeper understanding that we would normally miss. And because we want to ensure that we've understood, we might end up paraphrasing what they've said to us to make sure that we've got it clear, or maybe asking questions that are open and require a detailed response because we're giving this person our time. And this style of listening promotes stronger relationships, as it helps to build a rapport and ultimately trust. And then open questioning provides an opportunity for the other person to have thinking time and find ways to express themselves authentically, which obviously impacts massively on their feeling of value and self-worth, which then makes them more open to compromise and clearer, more eloquent conversation, which is obviously facilitates then excellent communication. The second one is critical listening, and that's about working on stopping ourselves from doing this one, because that will not only help the person we're communicating with, but also ourselves, because we're going to need to be mindful of our interactions and honest about why we're not supporting this person. why do we find the need to pull them apart and find fault? And I can tell you as a coach that it won't be something that they're doing wrong. It will be something within us that needs to be identified, worked on, and changed. And this will ultimately make us better, make us stronger, help us to grow. So this will improve our well-being and resilience. And through empowering conversations with others, our relationships and our outcomes. So generally, people who are on the receiving end of critical listeners tend to stop sharing their plans and dreams, and may end up avoiding us altogether. And this is then damaging to their self-worth and their optimism, and the energy it takes to overcome our negative comments time and time again is so incredibly damaging that once we've become aware that we're doing this, why on earth would we want to continue doing it? So I urge you to be really mindfully aware of how you're communicating and with whom you're communicating, and in what way you do it. You may feel, or you may tell yourself that you're generally, you're finding fault because you genuinely want to help this person and you want to prevent any pitfalls. But I would urge you to question the real reason beneath that. And lastly, I feel that therapeutic listening can greatly improve our relationships and outcomes, and therefore our lives. Therapeutic is generally done when we allow another person to share or offload to us without commenting or trying to problem solve for them. And this requires empathy and compassion, and may involve non-verbal communications such as, nodding or eye contact or patting their arm or even putting your arm around them, with no other intention other than to create a safe space and comfort them. We're not jumping in to share our experiences or expecting anything in return. We're simply communicating one spiritual being to another and inviting authenticity and openness for us to all grow and thrive in. So to be aware of our communication with others, obviously we need to pay attention to our interactions. And through mindful and honest awareness, we can see where we can facilitate clearer communication through attentive listening. And honestly, the world opens up and you suddenly get so much more from people. And when you're really giving them your undivided attention, the energy exchange between you is huge, and it just clears the path for such better and more honest and open communication. So, as always, if you want to get in touch or you'd like to work with me, you can contact me through my website, simplybe.org.uk. Thank you very much, as always, for listening, and I hope you'll join me for the next one. Take care. Bye.